Oh, thank you, Based Oda. Thank you. Don't fuck with Zoro. You don't fuck with the man that's gonna be the greatest swordsman in the world. Coming off of last week's underwhelming chapter, this chapter just, oh my gosh, the ending of this chapter, the Zoro versus Pica confrontation. I feel as though some of my complaint, at the very least with this particular portion of the manga, what's going on right now, this particular battle with Zoro and Pica, he didn't need to show it. And the reason why is what Zoro says in this one. You were never in my league to begin with. So what would have been the point of just Zoro trying to figure out his maneuvers? Because the only problem Zoro was having is this fucker's ability is kind of weird, so he was trying to figure it out. And especially with Zoro's innate fucking messiness in his head of like, oh, you know, directions and everything, it took him a little bit longer. But as far as like abilities and as far as strength goes and as far as overall being a warrior, it was never a fucking competition. Thank you, Oda, for finishing that up and actually making me feel a little bit like, okay, I get why you wasn't really showing it. It wasn't necessary. This is all of the fight that we really needed to see. The ending where he just comes in and is like, the fuck up out of here. Who you think you are? I'm Zoro, bitch. Beginning of this chapter, we finally got some progression and what seems like it's been for ages since we've seen Kinemon and now Kanjuro. Finally, they've met up together. They've reunited at last. And once again, something that I guarantee will be addressed, and it'll be a big thing, I'd imagine, in Wano Kingdom, is there's definitely something, either they're famished, there's a lack of food over there, or it's a samurai's pride. Something along the lines of food is a very heavy thing. We've seen it already a couple different times. Kinemon, Momonosuke, and now Kanjuro as well mentions food, and he's like, oh, I can make food, but it's not like I'm hungry or anything. So there's definitely some big crisis, I'd imagine, in Wano Kingdom regarding food, and that's why it's constantly being brought up. But him being, you know, reunited with Kanjuro is like, if Kanjuro could have left this entire time, why the fuck was he in there this whole time? Why was he standing in the scrapyard if he could have just left? Was he particularly waiting for him? Did he realize that he would come at some given point? So that kind of feels a little bit fishy. Could Kanjuro be backstabbing Kinemon? I just don't see that because these seem like very prideful samurai. So why would he be waiting there this entire time if he could have left? Question. And his ability straight away reminds me of like Sai from Naruto, where he could kind of create things with the pen and make it come to life, except it's kind of funny because he can't draw for shit. So it would be like me, for example, like I could barely draw, just drawing like stick figures, like, yeah, we're gonna jump on the stick figure pig or something. Like that was pretty funny, and kind of taking the idea, because it's not like, you know, Sai came up with it or anything, like Naruto didn't originate that idea. It's like taking that idea and kind of adding a little funny twist, like somebody that can't draw for shit gets the power to make things that he draw come to life. Get that man some art classes, please. The middle of the chapter was the one part I will say, this is something Oda's been implementing it, and I'm not a big fan of it. It's kind of just like fillerish type of things, like once again the character's like, oh yeah, I'll do this, kind of like jokey stuff, and if it wasn't so much of it, like in last week's chapter and already a few of these chapters, I wouldn't have minded it. But like the middle of the chapter, like about 4 or 5 pages, not too much, but still it was a good chunk of the chapter, was where it was like just them joking back and forth. No, I'm going to get Doflamingo. No, I am. I have a grudge with him. And that's kind of been already done a couple different times. So that was the one portion of the chapter that was like unnecessary. I mean, at the end of the day, if the chapter would have been shorter, ultimately just setting up with like, okay, they're going to fight these giant toys now or something, just quickly there, bam, okay, done. We didn't really need any of that other extra stuff. It's kind of like filler within it, and I'm like, Oda, don't start going this direction. It's like the beginning of the chapter, good shit, progression, got Kanjuro finally, Kinemon, Kanjuro, a little weary of him. The ending of the chapter, fucking godlike, Zoro versus Pica, complete. So we got major progression there, and overall showing Zoro, first of all, this ability, 10,000 or 1080, we're gonna call it 1080. 1080 sounds fucking awesome. 1080 pound cannon. Fucking beast as shit. And then the fact that makes you question, Pica was one of the high executives of Doflamingo's people, and he was nothing for Zoro. How fucking strong is, like, I can't wait until we get a full demonstration on the limits of all of the Straw Hats, Luffy and all of them. Just how fucking strong are they? Because, I mean, we've seen Sabo, and Sabo is just like damn near Admiral level, if not maybe he's above. I mean, he's second in command of the Revolutionary Army. Who the fuck knows? But the fact that Zoro said basically Pica was cake. It was only just a matter of figuring this moron out, but he was cake. how fucking strong is Zoro? The middle of the chapter was just the only thing where I was just kind of like, it was setting up for another obstacle that Luffy and the crew have to go through, but it just really felt like fluff. It was like, the middle, beginning, we've been waiting to see this for a while, cool shit, and getting back to Kinemon, and it's about freaking time, and then the ending, godlike. So overall, this was a very good chapter. I'm gonna give this bad boy an 8 out of 10. That Zoro bit was like a 10 out of 10. The beginning, very good shit. Middle is the only problem, but oh my fucking god, Zoro just got me so fucking hype. And it was like, coming from last week's chapter where I was just like, to this week's chapter where I'm like, Zoro. I mean, I honestly think as well, Oda made Bartholomeo's personality like that to display how we are as One Piece diehards, how much we love the series. Is like the way Bartholomew was like, oh, can I get your autograph, please? I love you so much, I can't believe this. That's pretty much like how we act. Like, we get fucking crazy over this shit, and I think that's him demonstrating the fandom, how we love this shit so much. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, how fucking strong is Zoro? What did you think about that 1080 fucking pound cannon? Were you hyped? And do you think there's anything strange about Kanjuro? Like, why didn't he leave this entire time? What's up with that? It's just your overall thoughts of this chapter. Fucking Zoro bringing the heat, baby. This is what I want to see. This is what I need to see. Yeah. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.